I told him I had a plan. I'm gonna do this, this, and that. And I stuck to the plan. I said, I'm gonna see you last. I didn't lie. I just stuck to what I felt in my spirit and what to do, you know, and that's what I did.
And I think you're good at what you do, you know, that like, yeah, it's good. I like it.
I just, like I said, I seen him picking up steam. Like he was, you know, making noise. And I felt like he got to the point where like it's time to run it, you know? I feel like he's coming into his own, I am myself, and I felt like it was the perfect time.
But I always knew that.
Stronger than me? No, you weren't strong. You punched like a girl.
The boxing world may have just found its next mega fight. Ryan Garcia versus Conor Benn. A fight that nobody can stop talking about. And after their latest face-to-face interaction, things got even more interesting. The tension was obvious. The confidence was obvious.
You say it's gonna be hard or easy. Sometimes I think fights are gonna be hard and then it's over in like a second. Sometimes it's gonna be easy work and it's actually harder than I thought. So, but we just won't know till we're in there.
Somehow I find the target every time. No, I'm serious. I'm serious. Serious. Come on now. Come on now. You know how it is. Your city. Your city.
Yeah, my city.
You don't think I'm gonna hit you with that left hook?
No.
Many fighters like you. That was strong. Yeah, you go for it. You go for it. You go for it. You're the one that started that.
Go for it.
And neither man looked interested in taking a backward step. Ryan Garcia revealed that this matchup wasn't something that happened by accident. According to him, he had been watching Conor Benn's rise closely. He saw the momentum building. He saw the noise getting louder. And eventually he reached one conclusion: the time had come. Garcia believed Benn was finally entering the stage where a fight between them actually made sense. Not too early, not too late. Right now. That's why he moved forward with the plan. And now, everything goes according to schedule. The two are expected to collide in Las Vegas this September. For boxing fans, that's huge. For Conor Benn, it could be the biggest opportunity of his entire career. And for Ryan Garcia, it's another chance to prove that he belongs among the biggest names in the sport. But what really caught people's attention wasn't the official announcement. It was the way these two interacted when they got in front of each other. The trash talk started almost immediately. Neither fighter wanted to give an inch. At one point, the conversation turned into a playful but heated exchange about power, strength, and who would land first when the bell rings. Both men laughed. Both men smiled. But underneath those smiles was something very real: competition. Because once the camera stopped rolling, these two know exactly what's at stake. For Garcia, this would be his first defense of the WBC welterweight title. That's a massive responsibility. Champions aren't judged by winning belts. They're judged by defending them. And Ryan knows that. Meanwhile, Conor Benn sees this as his chance to silence critics once and for all. For years, people have questioned whether he truly belongs at the elite level. Now, he may get the chance to answer that question directly, and the timing couldn't be bigger. The proposed date lands around Mexican Independence Day weekend in Las Vegas. Historically, that's one of the biggest periods of boxing. The atmosphere is electric. The crowds are massive. The spotlight is enormous. And Ryan Garcia, one of America's biggest boxing stars, knows exactly how much attention that weekend brings. But there's another major factor pushing this fight forward: Dana White. Since entering boxing promotion, Dana has repeatedly said he wants to make the fights fans actually want to see, not fights that get delayed for years. Not endless negotiations, not political matchmaking, the fights people demand. And Ryan Garcia versus Conor Benn is quickly becoming one of those fights. When Conor Benn was asked directly who he wanted next, he didn't hesitate. Ryan Garcia. No long speech, no avoiding the question, no complicated answer, just Ryan Garcia. That response immediately grabbed attention because it showed Benn isn't looking for easier routes. He's aiming straight for the biggest challenge available. And Dana White seemed completely on board with the idea. In fact, many insiders believe this fight is exactly the kind of event boxing needs right now. Two popular fighters, two huge personalities, two fan bases from opposite sides of the Atlantic, and plenty of controversy surrounding both names throughout their careers. That's a recipe for serious interest. But perhaps the most revealing comments came from Conor Benn himself. When discussing future opponents, Benn made something very clear. He doesn't just want wins. He wants moments. The kind of fights people remember years later. The kind of nights where fans walk away saying,
he failed to dominate an opponent.
That's the mindset he's bringing into this potential showdown. And honestly, that's exactly why so many people are excited. Because whether you love him or hate him, Conor Benn has never lacked confidence. He genuinely believes he can beat anybody. And that confidence doesn't stop with him. His father, Nigel Benn, feels exactly the same way. Nigel has repeatedly backed his son against every major name available. Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney, anyone. It doesn't matter. In his eyes, Conor Benn can beat them all. That's not surprising coming from a father, but it does show the level of belief inside Team Benn. They truly think this is their moment. The problem? Not everyone agrees. Because while the excitement around this fight continues to grow, some respected voices in boxing see things very differently. Many analysts believe Ryan Garcia enters this matchup with major advantages, not just in popularity, not just in championship experience, but in pure boxing ability. Some believe Garcia's speed is on another level. Others point to his timing. Others point to his devastating left hook. And several experts have already started predicting serious problems for Benn if he gets caught exchanging shots. Even Eddie Hearn, one of Benn's biggest supporters over the years, admitted something interesting. He described Ryan Garcia versus Conor Benn as potentially one of the biggest fights in boxing. A massive event, a huge attraction, a stadium-level spectacle. But he also acknowledged that Garcia presents an incredibly dangerous challenge. That's where things start getting fascinating, because the closer this fight gets, the more divided opinions become. Some people see a career-defining opportunity for Conor Benn. Others see a nightmare matchup. And when boxing experts started breaking down the details, concerns began appearing that could completely change the outcome of this fight, especially when one specific topic came up, Conor Benn's weight. And according to several analysts, that issue could become the biggest story heading into fight night. As excitement for Ryan Garcia versus Conor Benn continues to build, one question keeps coming up again and again. Can Conor Benn comfortably make 147 pounds and still be the same fighter? That's where many experts start getting worried. Benn hasn't consistently competed at the welterweight limit for years. In recent appearances, observers noticed something unusual. He looked drained, not exhausted, not finished, but not quite like the explosive fighter fans had become used to seeing. The aggression was still there, the toughness was still there, but something seemed different. And against elite opposition, even small differences can become huge problems, because Ryan Garcia isn't the type of fighter who gives opponents time to adjust. He's fast, very fast, the kind of speed that can completely change a fight with one mistake. That's why analyst after analyst started arriving at the same conclusion. If Benn isn't at his absolute best physically, Garcia could punish him badly. Then came the criticism, and it wasn't mild criticism. Former world champions and respected boxing voices began questioning whether Benn is truly ready for this level. Some argued that while Benn is exciting, aggressive, and entertaining, there's a difference between being exciting and being elite. They pointed to recent performances where Benn won fights but failed to completely dominate opponents many believe are past their best. According to those critics, that's a warning sign, because Ryan Garcia isn't a fading veteran. He's a world champion, a fighter who has shared the ring with elite competition and proven he can perform under enormous pressure. Then things became even harsher. Some analysts openly predicted a knockout, not a close decision, not a controversial scorecard, a knockout. The reasoning was simple. Garcia's left hook has become one of the most dangerous weapons in boxing. When opponents get reckless, he finds openings. When opponents become aggressive, he counters. And Benn's style naturally creates opportunities. He loves pressure. He loves exchanges. He loves walking fighters down. Fans love watching it. But against Garcia, that style could be incredibly risky. Former fighters began breaking down the matchup, and many reached the same conclusion. Benn's defense isn't good enough. They praised his courage. They praised his work ethic. But they questioned whether he could avoid Garcia's best shots for 12 rounds. And that's where the biggest concern appears, because Ryan Garcia
but
only
his
needs one
performances show
mistake,
steady
one clean
progress,
left hook, and the entire fight can change. Still, not everyone is counting Ben out.
He
Far from
argues
it.
that
Some analysts
critics
believe the
should
public is
not
underestimating
judge
him.
only
They argue that
on
Ben performs
titles
best when
won
people
so
doubt him.
far,
They point out that he
because
thrives
Ben
under pressure,
is still
that he fights with
evolving as
emotion,
a
that he
fighter
embraces
and
hostile
gaining
environments, and
experience
perhaps most
against
importantly,
higher
they believe he
quality
genuinely believes he can win.
opponents. With
That kind of
continued
confidence matters in boxing
improvement
a
and
lot,
tougher
because fighters who
fights,
enter the
he
ring already
believes
beaten mentally
Ben
rarely
could
succeed.
eventually
Conor Benn won't
close
have
the
that problem.
gap
If this
between
fight
British
happens,
level
he'll walk into that arena
success
believing he
and
belongs,
genuine
believing he can
world
shock the
title.
world,
Sports
believing he can leave Las
Simon
Vegas with the
Jordan
championship.
and Coach
That's what makes the
Frank
fight so
Smith
compelling. On
discussed
paper,
the
many
Ryan
favor Garcia, but
versus
boxing isn't
Conor
fought on
Benn
paper.
fight,
It's fought
and
inside the
wider
ropes. One punch
reaction
changes
around
everything.
it, including
One
the
mistake
PED
changes everything.
related controversy.
One perfect moment
Frank
changes
Smith
everything.
argued
Even
that
betting
Ryan
discussions have
Garcia
reflected that
is on a
reality. While many
higher
expect Garcia
level
to
than
enter as a
Ben
clear favorite,
in terms
several
of
analysts
skill
still
and
believe Ben carries
experience,
enough power and aggression
suggesting
to
it
create
would be the
chaos if he starts
toughest
fast.
test of
And that's exactly
Ben's
why fans are
career.
so interested.
However, he also
Nobody
refused
expects
to
a boring
completely
fight.
dismiss Ben,
Nobody
saying that his
expects a
work
tactical
ethic,
chess
toughness,
match.
and
If
aggressive
these two
style mean
finally
he
share
can't
a
be
ring,
underestimated in a
fireworks are
big
almost
fight.
guaranteed.
Simon Jordan focused
Garcia
more
wants to
on whether
prove he's the
Ben is
true
finally
star of the
stepping up
division.
to a real
Ben
elite
wants to
level
prove he
contest,
belongs among
implying that
boxing's
Garcia
elite.
represents a
Both
major
have
step up
huge
in
fan
class.
bases.
The conversation
Both
also
attract
touched on the
headlines.
ongoing scrutiny
Both
around
generate
PED
controversy.
accusations
And
in
both
boxing,
have
which
plenty
has
to
followed
lose.
both fighters
For
at
Ryan
different clash
Garcia,
between
a
Ryan
victory
Garcia
strengthens
and
his
Conor
position as
Benn
one of
could be
boxing's
heavily
biggest
one-sided,
attractions.
suggesting betting
For
odds of
Conor
around
Benn,
3,
a
one in
victory
Garcia's
changes
favor.
everything.
He believes
It
Garcia's
would instantly
speed,
silence
accuracy,
years
and
of
elite
criticism.
level
It
experience
would
give him a
transform his
clear
career
advantage over
overnight.
Ben, who
And
is
it would
still
become one of the
developing at the
biggest
world
upsets
level.
in recent
Kellerman
boxing
argued that
history.
while Ben brings
That's why the
aggression,
pressure is
toughness,
enormous.
and
The
power, those
expectations
traits
are
may not be
enormous.
enough to
And the
overcome Garcia's
anticipation
technical
continues
skill
growing
set and
every
ring
single day.
IQ. He added
Now
that
the
in a
boxing world
high-profile
waits.
setting,
Will
Garcia's
Ryan
ability to
Garcia's
control
speed,
distance
power,
and counterpunch
and championship
effectively could
experience
dominate the
prove too
fight
much?
from early
Or
rounds.
will Conor
According
Benn
to
shock
Kellerman, the
everyone
matchup
and
appears
pull off the
mismatched
biggest
on
win of
paper,
his career?
with Garcia being the more
One thing is
polished
certain.
and proven fighter.
If this fight
Despite
becomes
this,
official,
he acknowledged
the road
that
to
boxing
September
can be
is going to be
unpredictable, and Ben's
explosive.
pressure style
And when
always
these two
carries a
finally
puncher's
stand
chance.
across from each
However,
other
he
under
emphasized
the
that
bright lights
surprises
of
in
Las
boxing
Vegas,
remain
the
possible.
entire
Ben
boxing
lands
world
early
will
and
be
disrupts
watching.
Garcia's rhythm.